gave a public presentation 2 weeks ago to people of Kinderhook, Stuyvesant, Stockport on the ideas of a trail project that we're doing. Don here is our principal planner, who is with us in the project. The public presentation went well. There was 2/3 of people there. I'm not going to give up all your information. 2/3 of people there were for it. But we really, out of our bubble of a planning department, we got to experience the people who were against it. And the farmers have made some good points, and that's something we're going to, go back, take that information, and hope to help them build a trail that they really like. So, how many of you were also planning alumni here at the program? Okay. So the studio, the whole process, for us has been a great learning experience. First year is all about sitting there, being able to do your work, almost like competing against them, making sure you get better grade and stuff like that. And now 17 of us are in the room trying to coordinate a whole project together. And that means, Sunday nights we now have to work. I'm someone who gets my work done way in advance. I'm a little OCD. But then, at the last minute, someone's like, oh, I got to do this. And then some people have kids, some people play video games all day. It's hard to coordinate. And, exactly. Some go to Toronto for a football game. But it's hard to coordinate, and we want to, actually really angry at professionals because you make it look so easy. I know it's probably not as easy out, when you're actually doing it. But we found out it's quite a process. But back to the trail project, Kinderhook, Stuyvesant, Stockport. There are 3 towns out in the Columbia County, 3 small rural villages. Important history. We have Martin Van Buren site in Kinderhook. We have Lindenwald. Same thing?
Yes.
Yeah, same thing. There's people debate whether the actual Legends of Sleepy Hollow was actually done there. The terminology "okay" we found out actually means Old Kinderhook, which we thought was pretty interesting. What else do we have? The Hudson Electric Railway. One of the corridors we're actually looking at is an old electric railway, which used to bring people from Hudson to Albany. That was there, and there's relics that still exist. And that was around to around the 1920s. And there's also, historically, there's a bike path there. So what we try to do is we take these ideas, we're presenting them to the community and saying, this is your history. What we really want to do is bring out there and make people evident of what brought you to where you are today. So, what we do? We're looking at these 2 different sites. There's no trail there, there's nothing there right now, but a great right-of-way. And kind of bringing in a vision for them of what it would look like if you had a trail. All 3 towns, they have great parks, they have some very interesting physical features, some waterfalls, just a really nice area. And there's very little public area for bikers, hikers, walkers to really get out there and enjoy the landscape. So a group of advocates got together from all 3 towns, and there's other trail projects within the surrounding area, but they came out and saw this National Grid line and said, what a great opportunity for a trail. And so what they did in January 2010, I believe an RFP went out with funding from the Hudson River Valley Greenway. Mark is here, I know, it's all in one place. And they went out, and I know they contacted our professor, Jeff Olson, at Alta Planning. And he said, well, what a great opportunity for a studio to get together and learn how to build a trail in a rural environment, which, compared to your experience, which is a very urban environment, it kind of gives you 2 different ideas of what regional planning has to deal with. So with Jeff's guidance, what we envision is not just a trail where you can get out there and enjoy being physically active and stuff like that, but a trail that connects these 3 towns with their history together, so that families can go out there, enjoy learning about the town, but also be physically active and together. What we want to express to the communities is just, it is a trail. Okay, you're going to be able to go out there. They might not think people are going to use it. We're trying to bring them information on why people enjoy trails, the economic benefits for them. We're trying to teach them about the economic development opportunities that really exist with trails. Through our public input sessions, we've just really been trying to make this a point to them. They don't believe us yet. We're still working on it, but it's really a great learning experience. Key issues that we've really been trying to hammer down with them.
Trying to show the communities what can be done in their community based on what's happening across the country. And we're also, the study that we're doing is also in coordination with a previous study, trail feasibility study that was done by Saratoga Associates in 2001, 2001, 2002, I believe, for this trail going north through Galatia and through down to the village of Kinderhook. So this trail that we're studying now is possibly is a continuation of that trail.
The actual where it goes, and there's two different areas we're looking at. It might be in the map later, but the National Grid right away from the village of Kinderhook, the Westview line to Rossman Road down to the town of Stockport. And then we're also looking along the Great Creek there also. Great opportunity for a trail, and that goes from Hudson Street crossing at Kinderhook Creek to the Martin Van Buren National Historic Site, all the way down to Stuyvesant Falls, which if you haven't been down in the area, it's a really cool area to go down and hike.
And Lindenwald, the Martin Van Buren site, is actually working on their general management plan right now. So this is all going to be in coordination with what they're doing and trying to connect Lindenwald to the greater community through the trail. And this is also said this being funded by the Hudson Valley Greenway, which we're all very grateful for, and being able to do this study. So basically, we were tasked as a studio and within our contractual options, our contractual agreement with the trail committee to do a certain amount of different technical memos and components to the study. And we put together a schedule of when those would be delivered by and to keep us on task and keep the project moving. So we've completed our existing conditions and we're working on our site analysis, which was presented at the public meeting. Our schematic plan is still in the process of being worked on right now. We've been continuing to work on our education and interpretation, working with community members that have resources and doing our own research. We're looking at the cost estimation and maintenance issues that come up along the trail are based on that different costs of building. We're doing public involvement. We're going to have another public meeting at the end of December, at the end of the project, to present our findings. And we're also going to be compiling a final feasibility study report that will be presented at that meeting. And just to give we're working and conveying to the community that this is not just a trail for them, but this is part of a greater connective tissue of trails that will go from New York City all the way up to Albany, and that also stretches west to Buffalo. So really conveying that, building a statewide trail system for New York.
It's just been a catch-22 because you say, we're going to build a statewide system. And they're like, we don't want anyone else in our town. So we're learning all this. We think we have a great point. We bring it to them, and they give us 6 points back. So I think that's why it's been great for us.